Hello folks, this is Sullla once again. You're listening to another video for League of Legends, this one featuring a ranked team of 5. We are playing as one of our ranked teams. We have a couple of them, but this is one of them. This is the super terrific Happy Hour. Seinfeld fans might get that reference. Anyway, in this game we're going to have Speaker playing as Cho'Gath, Diva playing as Karthus, Spreakaway playing as Skarner, myself playing as Leona, and Varus Nox playing as Ezreal. On the other team we're up against Mundo, Jax, Orianna, Sona, and Graves. Now what we're going to try to do in this game is when we were on the loading screen, we actually ended up picking our Cho'Gath last on the staging screen. Come on, don't get frozen here. Don't get frozen. Yes, there we go. Anyway, when we were on the loading screen, well, not the loading screen, when we were on the champion select screen, we were trying to figure out what we were going to do in terms of laning assignments. And we realized that we had accidentally picked Cho'Gath into Jax. And Cho'Gath actually doesn't do very well against Jax. If you know that matchup, then Cho'Gath usually gets beaten by Jax, and Jax can just sort of free farm and get really strong. So what we decided to do is we decided that we would do a lane swap here. Now, for those of you who watch tournament play, you might have seen this before, where the teams will opt to run a 1v2 lane in top and then a 1v2 lane the other way in bottom lane. So that's what we're going to try to experiment with in this game. Anyway, right here though, we're coming in, we want to try to get a ward at their Wraith camp. That's what's going on here, and their team was right there to defend it, but fortunately they didn't have a pink, they weren't able to kill our ward, and we were able to get that down. Now, why there? Well, this is one of the most important spots to ward on the map. It allows you to see this entrance, it allows you to see when the jungler is doing wraiths. It's sort of a staple of tournament play. You will see teams warding that spot over and over again. So it's a very important spot to ward on the map because it gives you a lot of information on what their jungler is doing. Now, their team opted to ward here. This is not a particularly useful spot to ward in the early game. I mean, it does give vision on a gank on the mid laner if someone's coming in from that brush, but generally not that important of a spot. So this ward is a much more useful spot. Anyway, what we're going to do is, again, we're going to look to have our AD and support pairing in top lane as opposed to bottom. That's our goal. Speaker's already gone back to base. He's going to buy a 4th health pot as soon as he gets to 35 gold. Let's see, should be popping up any second now. There we go, there's the 35 gold. There's the 4th health pot. Meanwhile, we're just going to get Spreakaway started here in the jungle, playing on Skarner right here. He's going to do a Wolves to Blue path, sort of a standard path here, and then he's going to look to roam either to mid, or he was planning to do a route that would take him, his goal was to start Wolves Blue, then he was going to come down here to red, and then he was going to be in bottom lane in position to help out Speaker if he needed it in the 1v2. That was the goal in any case. Meanwhile, because of our ward, we know that Mundo started at Wraiths. We could tell that he was going to go up to red from there. Well, that was our expectation, that he would go to red. Now watch, I'm going to ward right here, and look, this is going to give us vision on Mundo as he comes in, and so we're immediately going to turn and try to bait a fight up here in top. Jax is 1v2. They want to fight 2v2 here. We know that Mundo's in the brush there, but here comes Spreakaway, and watch, we're going to turn and we're going to engage on this Mundo. I'm going to flash stun, going to use my exhaust, and then together we're going to blow him up for first blood, and that is going to put us in really good shape. So we are going to be able to claim that first blood, and again, that was almost entirely due to the wards we had on the map. We knew his jungle path, and we knew where he was going to be. Okay, so what now? Well, now we're going to start making this Jax's day very, very unpleasant for him, because we have 2 in the top lane. We have 2 champs at level 2. He is level 1. Jax is not a particularly great champion at 1v2. I'm going to stun him right there, and he is going to have a lot of trouble farming this lane. This is not going to be fun for him. Our wave is going to hit the tower, and then it's going to start to push out again, and we're going to make it very, very difficult for him to farm these creeps. Now, the counter to that is down in bottom lane. Speaker is going to be 1v2, but for the moment, they're trying to swap back. Look what they're trying to do. They have their AD and support coming to top lane. They want to swap back, so what we're going to look to do is we're going to look to shove this into the tower. We're going to look to have the tower eat these minions, and as soon as we see that happening, we're going to look to go and swap back again. Meanwhile, there was an engagement over at the blue. We figured that their Mundo was over here. Spreakaway is going to catch him in the jungle. Spreakaway does still have that red, and he is going to catch Mundo and finish him off. So that was that kill there. Anyway, we didn't know quite what they were doing. We thought they might be swapping back. Jax is going to jump in here. He's going to look to engage on Varus. I'm going to get the stun on Jax. Varus is going to use his cleanse out of there. And meanwhile, Jax has already used his counter-strike. He does not have any more crowd control. And even though I have no boots, I should be able to walk out of this, yes. So we are, in fact, going to get out of that with no trouble. And watch, look what's happening here. All of the minions are hitting the tower because we've successfully shoved the lane up. So they want to now run run their AD and support in top against our AD and support. But look what we're going to have Speaker do. Speaker is going to push this up into the tower, and that's going to allow him to go back to base, and we're going to swap this lane right back again. Speaker's going to go back to buy. Once again, we've got these minions on the tower. Their team is not farming these minions. This is absolutely perfect for us, and we are going to swap this lane right back again. Speaker's going to go back to base. Here we go. Varus and I are heading down to bottom lane, and we're going to be in the exact same position we were a minute ago, with Jax in a 1v2 lane bottom, and Speaker in the 1v2 lane as Cho'Gath in top. Meanwhile, while that's going on, mid lane hasn't seen too much action. It's pretty much just a farm off right now. Orianna does have the edge in lane in this matchup, so D.Va's just looking to farm as Karthus. Meanwhile, Spreakaway is way ahead in the jungle because he got those 2 kills. He's 2-0. There, Mundo is 0-2, so he can roam into their jungle with no fear and look to put pressure on lanes. Here we have a gank coming out in mid. Let's see what's happening. There is a nice wall from D.Va. We're going to be able to get this. Nope, can't dive those towers. For those who don't know, towers are bugged right now. Yeah, there's going to have a nice engagement here, but they're not going to catch Spreakaway. For those who don't know, towers are bugged right now, and they fire much faster than they're supposed to do so. And this is going to have to be fixed in an upcoming patch. But for the moment, they shoot about 50% faster than they're supposed to do. So their attack speed is supposed to be 0.6, and it's up at 0.8. So they're attacking significantly faster. Anyway, once again, here we are. Hello, Jax. Jax is not having a particularly fun day right now. He's level 4, he has 11 minion kills, and he is getting denied because he just can't come forward to get these last hits. There's not a whole lot he can do about this. Meanwhile, what's going on up in top lane? Speaker is Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath has the ability to clear camps with his W, and he has his passive that naturally grants him extra health and extra mana on last hits. So Cho is just better suited to be 1v2 than Jax is. Jax is not well suited for that. Jax came forward to try to get a couple last hits, but he's still getting denied pretty hardcore down there. Whereas Speaker, again, Speaker's got those health pots. He's got his Doran's ring now. Again, he is just in much better shape to be able to clear these waves than Jax is. So yeah, this is the strategy that we came up with, and it seems to be working out so far. Again, Jax, because he's melee, he really can't come forward to get these, and the tower is going to end up eating most of these last hits. Let's see, is he going to be able to get that one? No, he's not quite going to be able to get that one. Meanwhile, Speaker at the tower, not in any real danger. Here comes Spreakaway to relieve some pressure. I'm going to look to see if we can get this. There comes the Karthus ult. Spreak's going to get exhausted. They're turning the focus on Graves. There is the Feast, and Speaker's going to pick off that kill with Cho'Gath Feast. Now, are they going to be able to get Sona? Sona does not have boots. No. Are they going to go after this? Spreakaway's got that red. He is slowing on his autos, and yes, they are going to chase it down and get the second kill as well. So a nice use of Karthus ult. D.Va gets 2 assists on Karthus. Spreakaway using that red buff to great effect, and now Speaker's going to be able to relieve pressure and be able to free farm a little bit once more. Meanwhile, down in bottom lane, again, Jax still not really able to get many of these minion kills. He's on 17, and now that the lane is pushing out, he's going to be unable to farm once again. He wants to go back to base, he wants to go back, and he wants to head up the top lane, which is pretty clear that that's what he wants to do. He wants to be up against Cho'Gath. However, note that the minion wave is once again hitting the tower. Speaker is also going to go back to buy. We're going to shove our minion lane in bottom up into the tower. We're also going to go back to buy. And looky what's going to happen here. Speaker's going to head down to bottom lane. Wow, that Mundo almost died in the jungle. He took that pretty low. Speaker's going to head back to the bottom lane, and we're going to head right back to the top lane yet again. So hopefully it's becoming obvious how this matchup is favoring us. Speaker is significantly ahead of their Jax, 32-17. He also has 2 kills, and meanwhile we're just shutting down Jax. He's really having a lot of difficulty farming in this top lane. He's able to pick off 2 minion kills there. But again, Speaker, once again, underneath the tower, not really that worried. He has quite a bit of MR right now because he's got that Chalice. The Chalice will allow him to spam his skills. He'll get the extra mana regen, and he shouldn't be in that much danger here. They really can't dive him with these more powerful towers. There is going to get the knock-up. Oh, going for it on Sona. No, not quite. Didn't have his feast up. Probably could have gotten that kill. He had just feasted a minion. Meanwhile, I'm going to ward up here. Again, check out the ward coverage with a ward here and here. It's very difficult to gank us here in top lane. The only place they can really go is through the lane. We thought that Jax might be going to lane swap again, but he was actually just doing doubles. And again, this is not what you want to see as Jax. I'm just going to stand behind the minion line, and I'm going to make it difficult for Jax to get anything. He's not going to be able to push up. He is just resorted to doing doubles, and that's it. Meanwhile, down here in bottom lane, here comes Spreakaway once again. Where's that feast? And where is it? Where is it? Nope, doesn't have the feast up. You're going to take it with auto attacks instead, apparently. Just going to get the auto attacks. Oh, looks like Feast was 5 seconds away from coming off cooldown. So Speaker is having a very fun time in this bottom lane. Jax not having so much fun in top lane. Poor Jax. This poor guy Alpha Lock. Again, I'm not even interested in trying to go in and engage, trying to fight. Just want to keep him off the minion line. Just if he tries to come in the last hit, I'm going to stun him, and we're going to use all of our damage on him together. So he is just barely able to get experience, but he's not able to get gold on any of these. And meanwhile, down in bottom lane, Speaker was still having very little difficulty there. He's going to miss the Rupture, unfortunately. Are we going to be able to pick this up? Where is that Feast? He does have Feast off of cooldown, I believe. No, yes, he does, but now getting chased by Orianna. There is the Feral Scream for the Silence. Going to flash in and go for the Feast. Oh, Speaker clicks on the wrong person. Wanted to click on Graves, accidentally clicked on Orianna. That was a little bit of a mistake right there. I remember when we were playing it, Speaker was a little upset that he had clicked on the wrong enemy champion, so that was a little bit silly right there. Anyway, once again, Jax still 24 CS. He's been completely shut down. He doesn't seem to know quite what to do against this strategy, because every time they try to swap the lane, we just swap the lane right back again. And if you look in terms of gold, he has 1,600, Speaker has 3,000, so obvious edge in favor of our side there. Now, this would be a lot more difficult to do if we weren't already ahead in the jungle. It's also a product of the fact that Spreakaway's Skarner is so far ahead of their jungling Mundo. And right now, their team's looking to do Dragon, but we do have it warded, so we're going to look to try to interrupt this. Spreakaway's going to come in and try to interrupt this. They only have Sona and Mundo here, so it's going to be a little bit difficult, and we are, in fact, going to be able to chase them off because we had good ward coverage. Our warding is pretty good. Here's our coverage on the map when you drop out of spectator mode again. So, yeah, it's very difficult for someone to gank us in top lane. And, again, we're trying just keeping pressure on this tower. Again, Jax really wants to farm these creeps, but if he tries to come out, I'm just going to stun him under the tower. Meanwhile, down there, a gank in bottom lane. I miss it. Let's watch on the replay what happened there. We've caught Graves out behind the rest of his team. He's all by himself. He has no mana. He really can't do anything. Spreakaway's got his red buff. He's going to slow. There's the ult, and now we just need the Feast to come out. There we go. Best way to get a Feast stack, to munch on somebody on the enemy team. So overall, we're 3,000 gold ahead right now. We're in good shape. We have achieved our goal of making it so Jax is not going to be very strong later on in the game, at least not unless he gets a lot more farm. And right here, he wants to come forward to last hit a creep. We're going to just dodge his counter strike. Here comes Mundo, and our ward coverage has actually dropped for the minute, but we did know he was on his way up here because we had spotted him earlier. We did, in fact, know that he was up here. Divas had said he was on his way. So anyway, we are now looking to make a play for Dragon, if I remember correctly. We were wanting to shove this out and then look to come down and take Dragon. If we send our top lane down to the bottom, then we can have all 5 champs on the map, and we should be able to group and force a dragon fight. And this is a good time to get out of here anyway, since we see Mundo up here. So anyway, jungler top, we just group and send our team down the bottom lane. We should be able to claim dragon without any real problems. Anyway, elsewhere, still pretty much dead even in mid. We actually have the edge in our AD as well. Oh wait, no, actually we turned this around and went back in the top lane, going after Jax once again. We've got the exhaust on him. We're going to finish him off. Here comes Spreakaway. Now we're going to turn that around. Can we chase him down under the tower? He is healing his Mundo. Tower attack so fast, but yes, we are going to get this one. And meanwhile, there was a separate fight down in bottom lane. Go ahead and check that out. Right here, Sona coming forward. Sona gets hit by Rupture, and then the Feast, and Speaker just gets the burst damage there for the kill right there. Hit a Rupture, hit a Silence, used Feast, and that was enough to get the kill in bottom lane. And even though mid has just basically been even thus far, no real difference between Karthus and Orianna. And again, that's good news for us because Karthus generally loses out the laning matchup to Orianna. Anyway, now that we've got the double kill in top lane, we're going to shove this lane into the tower. We're going to try to deny these minions on the tower, and then we're going to look to try and force that dragon and be able to take that. Varus, oh, fail on the minions on that tower right there. Too difficult to last hit with Pulsefire Ezreal. But this is looking pretty good for us right now. And Jax has been forced to buy a gold per 10, which is exactly what we want to see. The longer, if Jax is buying gold per 10s, it's going to delay his Trinity Force, and it's going to take him that much longer before he gets really strong. Jax kind of needs Trinity to get stronger. Another thing as well, look, it's not just the gold, it's also the experience. Note that Speaker is level 10, while their Jax is level 8. So he's been denied not only gold, but he's also been denied experience. The gold difference is big enough. The gold difference is 2,000, but we also are 2 levels ahead because he's been denied experience as well. Anyway, we are grouping. We are heading towards the dragon right here. We're looking to have everyone on our team there to make it a safe dragon. One thing we possibly could have done that might have been better was we could have kept Ezreal. We could have kept Varus Nox as Ezreal in top. It might have been better to keep Ezreal up in top lane. Then we could have fought 4v4 at dragon, and we would have had the advantage. Presumably, we still would have had the advantage. As it is, Jax is finally getting a chance to farm. He's doing what he should be doing, which is to push this lane, and he's going to look to punish us for doing dragon by going and taking that top tower. They just decide to say, you know what, we can't contest dragon, so we're just going to race to top, and we're going to take that top tower. And that was a good call on their team. So as I said, it might have been better off to leave Varus as Ezreal in top. Maybe, not 100% sure, but that would have been one option. We could have just left Ezreal on top and grouped to do dragon. Still, we're going to end up trading dragon for top tower, and that's a pretty good trade for their team, in all honesty. Their team comes out a little bit ahead there because they were behind. Because they were behind, making even exchanges tends to benefit them a little bit more. So we, you know, I wouldn't say that was a bad play by us, but we could have executed it a little bit better. Meanwhile, Speaker still 1v2ing, not really all that scared. He's trying to bait this a little bit. Sona's going to flash, and it looked like Speaker was going to dodge that. Meanwhile, they're continuing to chase this down. Here comes Spreakaway. Is Speaker going to survive with this Ignite? No, not going to survive this Ignite. It looked like he dodged Sona's ultimate right there, but ultimately did not. It looked like he was going to dodge that, but it must have gotten hit just by the last corner of that Sona ultimate. So it does go down there, unfortunately, just barely dying. And now their team's going to look to put pressure on our bottom lane tower, also getting a donated blue buff to Orianna. In mid, again, it's still just basically even here. It's really been within like 100 gold the whole time, but you know, we're fine with that. We're fine with this just being an even exchange because we're accruing our advantages in other locations on the map. And Speaker is now starting to stack up some AP. Speaker said he wanted to go straight for death cap, which was kind of amusing. But I don't know. I mean, I guess it works. Right now, we're looking to take this top tower. We want to get that tower back, so we're just going to hit the tower right here. They were able to take bottom tower because they brought Mundo down, so we're going to trade back and take top tower. Just exchange towers right there, and then look to fight somewhere else on the map. Meanwhile, Speaker lurking in the rushes right here, looking to see if he can pick someone up. There is the Rupture. There is the Feral Scream. Oh, and there is the Feast onto that Mundo, who was a little bit low. Really nice play right there. No, I'm sorry, Soda. Exhaust does not do anything about true damage. Exhaust will not save you from a Cho'Gath Feast because it's true damage, and Exhaust doesn't do anything. Anyway, so that is going to push them off the bottom tower. And again, now we're looking to group and looking to make some kind of play. The one danger is Jax is finally able to farm, but again, he's just so far behind. He doesn't even have a phage yet at the 16-minute mark. Meanwhile, Speaker trying to chase this down. Yes, does hit the Rupture. Graves is going to have to flash out, and rightly so. Actually, no, he probably would have been okay because Speaker didn't have his feast up. So he probably would have been okay. Meanwhile, the rest of our team is looking to push this middle lane right here. The difficulty here is that Orianna does have blue buff. It's very difficult to push on an Orianna who has blue because she has very good wave clearing power. So she's going to use her ult a little bit randomly there for some reason. But now that her ult is down, we can push this tower a lot more safely. We're going to get some damage on the tower. Mundo has come into the fight right now. And we're going to disengage from this one because we were able to get Jax to come down from top. So we didn't get the tower, but we did get Jax to stop farming in top. And again, that's good news. Jax needs to be farming because he's so under-farmed right now. Meanwhile, oh, almost able to hit that. Graves able to quick draw out of it. Mundo coming down from the middle lane. And so Speaker's Cho is going to have to back out of there, but he should be okay. Still does have that red buff. Still is looking to pick someone off with a feast. Meanwhile, we caught Mundo right here. Spreakway is going to get the pull. We need to jump in. Where is the rest of our team? There's the Ezreal ult. I'm going to try to hit my ult. Able to get the slow on Mundo, not the stun, and a nice Sona ult. Just barely missing the Zenith Blade, so we're not quite going to get that kill right there. Meanwhile, though, Speaker is going to polish off Sona. And so that went pretty well for us. It's a shame that we weren't quite able to get Mundo. Very close. Meanwhile, I'm going to come put a ward in the brush, but oh no, that's not what I wanted. I was just placing a ward. The support's cry was just placing a ward, but as it turned out, Orianna and Graves were also in that brush. And so we're going to have to disengage from this particular fight. So we end up going 1-for-1. Not great. Anytime you're ahead, you don't want to trade like that, 1-for-1. Had the right idea to get vision in that brush, but they were already in that brush and they blew me up instantly. And sometimes that happens when you're a support. Anyway, so we're going to disengage and head back to farming and look to see what the next step is. Jax has finally got his phage, but again, he's really far behind. He still doesn't have Merc Treads either. It looks like he's going for Merc Treads next. He's still about 2,000 gold behind. They are going to take the middle tower right there. We are, it was very low, so we've now lost all of our initial towers, and that doesn't look so good, but we do nearly have this bottom tower. This tower is about to go down, and that middle tower is also fairly low. So if we can get these 2 towers back, oh, come on, can the creeps get it? 60 health? Oh, no, 60 health. Can't get that. Need 1 more auto attack in order to pick that one up. So at this point, the laning phase is just about finished, and we're going to start getting into the team fighting phase. The good news is our team is in better position to do that right now. We are in a stronger shape at this particular moment. We are, what, about 3,500 gold ahead, and Speaker's Cho'Gath is a lot more scary than their Jax, who hasn't completed any items yet. I mean, he's doing what he should do, which is to go up the top lane and keep farming. But while he's top lane, we're going to be able to put pressure elsewhere on the map. And in particular, we're looking to get this tower down here in bottom lane. We knew that Graves was bot. We knew that Jax was top. That meant that we likely were free to push this and get this middle lane tower. So we really want to get this. We want to open up the middle of the map to our team's pressure. And we should be able to do that right here. There we go. Down it goes. And that's going to force their team to back off. Jax is recalling in top. Graves and Son are recalling in bottom, so we're going to force them to back off. Is Dragon up yet? No. Dragon's going to be up real soon, but right here we're going to manage to catch one of their team out. I'm going to miss that Leona ult, unfortunately, but I did hit the Zenith Blade, and we're able to blow up Graves. Now, though, we need to disengage. Here comes Mundo, here comes Orianna. We need to disengage from this fight, so we are going to be able to do that. Spreekaway has had that Oracle for a little while now. He's been clearing out wards. And that's exactly what we want to see. So we were able to pick off Graves as he tried to rush the middle lane. Got there a little bit late. And now D.Va's coming up here, and this should be enough to get this tower. Yes, those powerful Karthus auto attacks going to be enough to claim this. And their team, you can see their team has quite a few wards in this area. But we did just kill Graves, so that should put us in a great position to try to do Dragon or to try to counter their blue. Now remember, we do have this ward here, thanks to me dying to get it earlier. Are we going to be able to claim Jax? There's the wall from D.Va. There's the rupture from Speaker. Are we going to be able to get the pull from Skarner? And no, we're not. But it doesn't matter because Speaker's going to feast, and that Cho'Gath feast is doing a lot of damage right now. What is it doing? It's doing about 600 true damage. So now we're going to look to team fight right here. Again, we've killed Jax. We've got a 5v4 advantage. We're going to take their blue buff. Spreekaway is going to take it, and now we're going to be able to do Dragon, and we should be able to do this without too much trouble. If they want to come in and fight, that's fine with us, because we do have the numbers advantage. They're going to toss down the ward, but a little bit late right there. And it looks like we're going to disengage from this with their blue buff taken, a kill in hand, and a dragon up on us. Now here comes one of the more interesting plays in this game. We see Orianna running up the top lane. Again, we had the wards over here. So we see Orianna running up the top, and we're like, oh, if Orianna goes to push this creep wave, we can totally kill her here. Let's, let's turn and cut her off. So D.Va's going to come up from the bottom. I'm going to come up from this angle, and we think that we can catch her if I can use my Leona skills effectively. So she's going to try to recall. Here I come. So level 10 Leona versus level 14 Orianna. So there we go. There's the Zenith Blade. There's the Shield of Daybreak stun. There is now the Leona ultimate, and that's going to buy time for the rest of the team to come up here. There is the Ezreal damage. There is the wall from Karthus, and Speaker's going to pick that one off. And that's just a beautiful use of Leona's skills. Let's see that again, shall we? So again, there's the flash, Zenith Blade into Shield of Daybreak, and now the Solar Flare, and that's how to play Leona. Not trying to be a jerk here and show off my own plays, but hey, anytime you can hit all 4 Leona skills in succession to get a kill, I think that's pretty nicely done. So anyway, that was the highlight of the game for me. Now, moving on, and now we've got Leona dead, so we can look to force a fight somewhere else on the map. Spreekaway has our Oracle. We could have tried to go and rotate to Baron there, but we didn't have our Oracle, so we're going to look to see if we can get everybody together and look to see if we can group and put some pressure on Baron next. Speaker and D.Va are a little bit too far pushed up. We need to look to get them to back away. They've got the wall, though. They're going to disengage, and now you can see that, well, actually, no, that's their team pinging Baron, not us. But in any case, we are going to be able to put some pressure on there. We need to get Spreekaway and his Oracle up there to clear out some wards. But as soon as we do that, we'll be in good shape to look to fight for this and look to try to take that objective. Again, we've got all the outer towers. Dragon is not up right now. Dragon won't be respawning for a couple minutes. So again, that's where we want to look to put pressure on the map at Baron, because we are stronger than them. We have about a 7,500 gold lead. So if we force a team fight at Baron, we likely can win. Meanwhile, they're going in after D.Va. They're going to try to catch him, but the wall is going to be able to get him out of there. And that's a nice usage of Karthus wall right there by young D.Va. Anyway, right now we're sort of at a lull in the game, so let's take a quick look at items right now and see what everybody's packing. Speaker's got his death cap. Let's see, Spreakaway has finished an Oracle. He's rushing Frozen Heart after his double gold pretends. Diva's clearing bottom lane. The standard Karthus build, Rod of Ages, Sorcerer's Shoes. He's about to get his Death Cap. Does he have enough gold for it? Yes, he is about to buy his Death Cap right now. Varus has gone for, he went Phage first, then got an Infinity Edge. It's a little bit unusual in terms of the build, and usually people build the Bloodthirster on Ezreal. I think that Varus went for the Infinity Edge because their team had some tanks on it. I believe that was the logic there. The Infinity Edge does let you cut through tanks faster. You just don't have the same amount of lifesteal. And I'm just building standard support stuff. I've got Shirelius because Spreakaway rushed Aegis. Because he rushed Aegis, I wanted an item that allowed us to engage and disengage. So that's why I went for the Shirelius, since we already had an Aegis. Was the logic there. On the other team, Jax, he's got his Phage, but that's really all he has. He's looking to build Sheen, but he's just been so shut down in this game. It's really been an issue. And now we're just looking to see if we can engage, if we can catch somebody. This is not the worst situation in the world for us. Them grouped up here, we can look to fight this. There is the flash grab from Spreakaway. There's the engagement. It's a good Sona ult from their team, but now we're going to turn. I'm going to hit my stun onto Orianna, and Speaker is going to feast, and right there is the double kill. That's exactly what we wanted. So again, let's go back and look at that again, and I'll see if I can slow it down for you guys. No, let me go back again. Sorry I missed that one. All right, I'll go back and look at this again. So this is basically the flash grab initiation from... Yeah, it always gets a little messed up when you rewind. Basically, the flash grab initiation from Spreakaway, he saw Mundo, and then he just decided to go for it. So there it is, right here. There is the flash grab. Grabs the pull. We instantly blow up Mundo before he manages to get his ult off. As I said, it was a good Sona ult from their team. Good Graves ult, too. And now I saw Orianna trying to creep in. I'm going to use my Zenith Blade. I'm going to get the Shield of Daybreak stun. We're going to turn, and we're going to finish her off. Speaker's going to get the feast, and then that's just going to turn into an easy kill for us. So yeah, there we go. That's how you win the team fight. A great initiation. That's why Skarner is highly prized, especially by the Korean teams. They really love Skarner right now. You just have that initiation, and there we go. That's the end of the game. They decide to give up, and they decide to surrender as soon as that happens. So we were about to take Baron, and then we're going to look to push from there, and that's the end of the game. So what was the key to that game? Really, a couple things that really made that game work. Again, we were able to get the kill on their Mundo right at the start of the game. I thought that was crucial because it was able to put Spreakaway so far ahead. See how underfarmed, underleveled he was. He was 0-5. He only completed Spirit Massage as an item. And he was, what, about 2,000 gold behind our own jungler, Spreakaway? So that was absolutely crucial. That was all set up by us putting wards in the proper locations on the map. And then the other key thing was our lane swap. The 1v2, the 2v1 top and the 1v2 bottom, I mean, just worked to perfection in this game. Could not have worked much better. In this one, Speaker was able to farm. He was able to get a ton of kills. He was able to get a kill every time his feast was up, it felt like. Meanwhile, their Jax got so underfarmed, he never finished his Trinity. He actually never finished a completed item, unless you count Merc Treads, which I guess is debatable. But poor Jax, he just got so underfarmed in this one. Just was not able to finish any items whatsoever, and so Jax was not able to contribute anything useful to the team, and Speaker ended up, what, 3,000 gold ahead? Yeah, 3,000 gold ahead, so that was really the key. Anyway, if you watch tournament play, you've seen this before. If you don't watch the tournaments, this might be unusual. Unfortunately, you can't really do this in solo queue because it takes too much coordination to do the lane swaps, but if you're working with a team of 5, and you feel like you have a champion who's really good 1v2, you can look to do this. The other thing that makes it work is we had an aggressive support with hard crowd control in Leona. They did not have an aggressive support with hard crowd control. Sona has great poke, but she can't stun you until she hits level 6. And so that's another big factor there. If you've got an aggressive support and they don't, you're more likely able to run one of those lane swaps for a 1v2/2v1. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, see you guys later. Have a great week. Take care.